It is Monday, it is the 5th of March 2018. Hopefully you had a great weekend. I didn't have a too bad weekend, apart from wasting a lot of time trying to grind up for Sentinel and missing out by forgetting to put about 2 million extra points in. But that's the thing, when you're kind of like not wanting to spend your units on the grind, then you have to make the decision whether or not you're spending and kind of overachieving on the points or thinking that you've done just enough. And that was a case I thought I just did enough based on the previous results from the Killmonger arena. Either way, I was a little bit disappointed, but hey ho, move on with our lives. But we've got some news articles to kind of discuss. We've got drop rate stuff to kind of discuss. We've got another kind of assassination attempt on Blade's life with regards to Nerf. There's loads of different kind of forum stuff we're going to get our teeth into. So without further ado, let's jump into these articles. So the first story up, and wherever I go on the forum, there's either like one or two kind of posts about Blade or anything Blade related. A lot of things are, in some ways, are like assassination attempts on his life. The same way we've got Scarlet Witch. It's kind of odd though, if you look at the forum, there's less moaning about Magic as a problem champion and more moaning about Blade. And I don't know obviously if that's to do with the synergies with Danger Sense and Danger Sense being kind of the main thing, or the aspect of kind of like the way that he uses bleeds and L2s and regeneration with being and having the awakening ability. Either way, there does seem to be a lot of this about at the moment, and I don't think this is ever going to stop. I do think that when it comes to 6 stars, we're going to see a big change. Like, as soon as we get more kind of added in, people will kind of go like, right, okay, I'm having my 6-star so-and-so over the Blade that I may have. And it may happen to me, it may happen to a lot of people. But at the moment, in this day and age, this is the champion that people do talk about, positively and negatively. A lot of the criticism is kind of pointed towards the Alliance Wars usage of Blade, and it's a kind of a case that people are like, well, everything's crumbling because, you know, a lot of the enemy team have got blades, so therefore they're kind of like going through. And it's like, yeah, I do get that, I agree with that. When I'm using my Blade, I solely use him in Alliance Wars, which is a bit annoying because I would like to use a lot more champions. A lot of my new 5 stars that I'm getting, they seem to be kind of put into Alliance Wars, except for the rubbish ones from that opening. Let's not go there, please. Just don't go there. Either way, I don't get to use some of the champions that I would like to, like Dormammu, Morningstar, and a few others as well. That's a bit of an issue for me. You know, having that diverse champions to kind of go to and go, right, they're strong enough to kind of propel me through a lot of Act 5, rather than having to rely on 4 stars and then kind of going, right, okay, they're crumbling a little bit, so I'm going to have to like constantly heal them up. But if I had a Blade awakened, then yes, that would propel me through a lot of content, which is something that I would have liked to have had. But how the luck goes and Sod's Law means that obviously I was in some way sort of punished for that opening that I did. But I am grateful that I've got the 5-star version. However, obviously, I understand that a lot of people that are for keeping him as the way he is, and others that are like, hey, I want to have him nerfed. And that's, again, a big argument within the community. I'm not sure if that will ever change. I'd like to think it would, and new champions added in would kind of change the dynamic. Maybe let's have a look to Thanos and kind of what, April, and see what champions are going to be released around the April time, and then how we go to the end of the year. I'm hoping there's going to be a champion that is going to maybe sweep him under the carpet, and also that kind of decent PI on him is kind of like diminished as new champions and improved 6 stars kind of come in. So we'll see how it is by the end of the year, whether or not we're still talking about Blade in the forums. Our next story is all about the profile pictures in the forum. Yeah, I use my Dormammu. I got Dormammu as my profile picture, but it does feel that we need more of these kind of like silhouettes. We need to kind of have more like pictures of champions to have profile pictures. You know, I would have preferred to have Blade, but then everyone's going to probably have a profile picture of Blade. But I think I'll stick with my Dormammu. Either way, I think a lot of people wanted different things. People are calling out for Yondu, another champion. So, kabam, hey, update the profile pictures in your forum, please. Because I think a lot of people want to see that. And it has had a strong backing. So if you want to vote on this, then go to the link in the description and vote. See, strong with the kind of the change of the profile pictures. So let's make it happen. Our next story up, and it's something that I've touched on when we talked about MODOK Labs and we talked about it in the MCC News. I did say that it's more of a bridging kind of event, and it's cool in some ways to see MODOK Labs return. But in other cases, and the general feeling is, I think people are just a bit bored. I have been incredibly bored with it, so I'll start doing it, and then I'll be like, right, okay, I've got a node there. Well, this is boring. It's just time. I think it's another kind of like timely thing to do. Where the other kind of, obviously, as we know, it's a totally different event. Understandable. But the idea of like the other one, which was the Trials of the King, it's only 3 fights. So much more quickly done. And obviously Infinite was more fights. Infinite is just like every single day, repeated 4 times. It gets on your nerves a little bit after a while. It's getting on my nerves, but that's because I was like, I've been trying to do a lot of kind of arena grinding. I'm still doing that now. I want to save up some units and get some energy refills in order to kind of complete Heroic and Master within 1 week, and then try and get Uncollected done by this weekend in order to then focus on X5. But that's my plans. But anyway, the whole aspect of MODOK Labs, yes, is a bridging event. They've got an idea of something mega that they're going to be doing in April. I'm pretty certain of that. They haven't confirmed it, but I'm pretty certain they have. And in some ways, I probably would have preferred them just putting going back to maybe an event in the past and doing that. Maybe even they could have done a Dimensional Rift, because it's been a while since then. But in other cases, I guess this is it. But a lot of people have been complaining like, oh, it's too long. A lot of people not getting the randomizers that they really need to change the buffs. Sometimes it's been like average and easy. Other times it's been quite difficult and frustrating. A lot of people have had different experiences over MODOK Labs, but I don't think it has been as popular this time as it was last time. But if you've got a thought on MODOK Labs, whether or not you like it, for it, or against it, then you can go to the forum post and have your say. Our next story is all about reward scaling. As the game has changed, yes, the rewards should really scale in kind of conjunction with general game changes. So trying to get 5 stars, that was really hard back in the day. Nowadays it's much more easier. However, when it comes to 3-day events, solo quests and solo events and all the things like that, things need to change in order to kind of like match up to that. And I really hope that that is something that is changed in the future, especially like alliance events, like the 3-day stuff, like item use. That can be smashed out quite easily. Adding an extra kind of threshold on there where you get some more 5-star shards would be a really cool thing. Yes, you do get it with regards to rank placement, but with regards to the amount that you get, I think that could be buffed a little bit. And the same thing really could be said for solo events. The kind of improvements that could be made there could be really beneficial to players, and also would then be a case they go, right, well, I can't do the alliance thing today, or I'm not in an alliance. I'm going to competitively go for something in there based on the fact that on milestones at the last one, they'll probably get something good. So it would be nice to see a little bit of upscaling, not a huge amount, because obviously everything's got to be grinded out and earned, but at the same time it would be nice to see a little bit of kind of change to those rewards. Okay, and our final story focuses solely on drop rate. As you know, if you've seen the forum post, Command Mike dropped this little post in saying that the drop rates will be announced on the 12th of March 2018. So this is going to be very exciting to see how much honesty there is with regards to the drop rate. Now, obviously, when it comes to that kind of Hello Crystal issue, because we were told, and it's still in there, the 22nd of March was meant, so 22nd of February, sorry, was meant to be the last day that we see a featured 5-star, so the blade would kind of be the end of that, but it seemed to be like a Hello one then crept in after, and I don't know if that's going to be an ongoing thing. We certainly, I don't think, got a major clarification on that. Either way, it's going to be, like I said, exciting to see how these rate things look to us as players, and also the general feedback and consensus about opinions on whether or not they're good or they're absolutely horrible. When it comes to the 12th of March, this is the change that you're going to see. So you're going to see drop rates above the top prize champion when opening crystals, at the same time when it comes to just showing the prem luck. And it's quite an eye-opener, and unfortunately it wasn't what I exactly thought about we would see. I thought there would be something in a case, you know, for every, these percentages to be worked out in every, say, 100 prems or 100 of these crystals, but instead it is worked out in a completely different way. So for example, I was hoping it would look a little bit like this. So this is taken from an Invincible video where he opened 2,000 prems, and then he put these percentage based on what he got, and obviously I thought it was an incredibly clever video, but at the same time, this is not what Command wants to kind of reference when it comes to how they open it. And how the crystal is opened and the drop rates based on that is based on the single kind of purchase. So you buy one, there is a 20%, there's a 2% chance that you get a 4-star there. There's then a 80% odd that you'd get a a 2-star, and then it's like a 4% you get a 3-star. That's how it's really worked. It's worked on the individual crystal as opposed to, say, a bulk. You know, it's like how we normally see things is like, okay, you buy 100 of this, you've got a 10% chance to get this, you got a 20% chance to get that, and then it's then 70% chance to get the other thing. It's not worked out like that based on like 100 kind of crystals. It's based on the individual crystals. So there's going to be some incredibly, like I said, interesting drop rates. But it's a bit weird, obviously. It's not weird, but frustrating to say the least, that if the featured crystals are now exiting, then we've got the featured crystal as based as a chance. So I don't think we'll get a chance to see any kind of old type of featured champion crystal, and it's like drop rate from it. The Grandmaster ones I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm quite interested to see what the 5-star drop rate is from them. That is going to be an eye-opener. Either way, this is exciting to see it, but I think I'm going to be a little bit disappointed when I do see it. So that's been MCOC News for Monday. Hopefully you have a great week. I'm now going to start writing a new skit and a new sketch for March, and at the same time I'm going to be writing Marvel Contest of Champions Memes 3, and I've got some kind of working dates. So the March skit will probably be out on the last day of March, and then also it will be probably close to the release of Infinity Wars that I'll have Contest of Memes 3 out. So look out for those 2 videos coming very soon. I've been RichTheMan, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Maybe share this with somebody that doesn't know about Marvel Contest of Champions news. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.